Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
That, as they say, is that. Marvel Comics, let's go ahead and get started. Howdy, partners. It's the Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, and today we're going to be talking about that there Dark Knight. That's right, today we're going to be talking about my top 10 most wanted Batman Omnis from DC Comics. So let's go ahead and... Why am I going back to that voice? Let's go ahead and get started, and I'm tipping the hat. And welcome back, everybody. Before getting started, a big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without you all. And the link to our Patreon is in the description of the video, as well as the link to our spread shop. That's why I'm pointing here. If you're interested in stickers or t-shirts with our logo, or any of our... Actually, some of our quotes are found on t-shirts. But yeah, check those out. Those are found in the description of the video. And I've done a top 20 most wanted DC Omnis, top 20 most wanted Marvel Omnis, and X-Men Omnis. Spider-Man and Superman are around the corner too. So make sure to come back every week. And let me know what other top 10 lists you want me to make, top 20 lists. I love doing this. I love putting my mind in that collected edition mode and start mapping them and putting books together. So this is The Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader. This is a countdown, and we are going to start with number 10. But before I do, smash that like button. Thank you to all you folks that do that already and share our videos on social media, on Reddit, on forums, wherever it is. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I have the best viewers. You guys are the best. All right, let's go ahead and start with number 10, and that is Batman and the Outsiders. Now, in my top 20 most wanted DC videos, I did talk about the Outsiders that lead into Batman and the Outsiders. This is a different series. This is the series of the 80s. And I know I put in the Brave and the Bold in there to kind of kick off the series. I also added the adventures of the Outsiders in here, because I was like, where else is this going to fit in? I thought about it, and I'm like, all right, let's just go ahead and add it. Now, some of those, of course, are reprints, right? So we'll just add the covers issues. Like, I think it's like the last... My goodness, I think it's like the last 7 issues are reprinted. But maybe we can also add convergence, but we'll see. I did want to put those in there, and you'll see some loopholes that I've worked out in here. Oh, it's not quite Batman related or Superman related, but I can see what he's doing there. Yeah, it's not the only time you're going to see that on these lists. All right, number 9. Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul. Wait, call him whatever you want to. I mean, there's all arguments online about what to call this guy, depending on where you came from. Of course, the cartoon or the comic, even the creator pronounces it a different way. But anyway, this is a huge omnibus. I loved mapping this one, including his early appearances, including some crossovers. But I also wanted to include things like the Demon Trilogy, which is, of course, Birth of the Demon, Bride of the Demon, and Son of the Demon, because those have been collected in a nice hardcover, but I feel like they also need to be included in this omnibus. Also wanted to include the Death of the Maidens in here, because that's been available in trades, and it's been available... I think, no, that one actually did get a deluxe hardcover. But taking us all the way into things like Batman Arkham, Ra's al Ghul, and then Ra's al Ghul One Bad Day, which just came out a couple of years ago. But I've been getting really into these collections of, like, one central character. And they've done, you know, villains in the past. Like, we've had a Joker omnibus. So, he's my favorite Batman villain, and I loved mapping it. So, yeah, absolutely. Number 8, Catwoman by Will Pfeiffer omnibus. Now, this is the... after the events of Catwoman of East End. And it's interesting because for years I had Catwoman by Ed Brubaker on these lists, on these videos. And then we got it. Wasn't called by Ed Brubaker, but, you know, we did get it. I also included, which I thought they should have included in the East End omnibus, Catwoman When in Rome, the 6-issue miniseries. We need to put it somewhere, so let's put it in here. This takes us to the completion of Catwoman before it's relaunched later on, and including the backup stories, or some of the material from Wednesday Comics. Number 7, Red Robin Omnibus. Now, this is Tim Drake and him adapting the role of Red Robin, because Damian Wayne was here, and he's like, well, we can't have two Robins. I guess I'll become Red Robin. It started in Battle for the Cowl after the events of Batman R.I.P. And there is a reason why this Tim Drake, this era, is my favorite Robin. To this day, I still think Tim Drake is the best Robin. And a better detective than Bruce Wayne himself. I said what I said. But this will also collect the 26 issues. The thing with this series is that it's been collected in trade, but those trades are out of print and so hard to find now. And they never had reprints, nor did they have thick collections like Stephanie Brown Batgirl. At least those are getting reprinted. No Omni of that yet, and she's made the list before. I don't know about this time. But absolutely, I would be all over this. I have a custom. I'd give away that custom to get this. Number 6. Personal favorite of mine, just like the rest of this list, but Gotham Academy Omnibus. I love when young characters are put into this world of superheroes and supervillains, and sometimes they interact with them, sometimes they don't. They're dealing with their own teenage drama. But this series is so underrated. It's so lovely, and rightly deserves to be in a big collection. I debated on whether or not, and this is ridiculous, whether or not I should add Lumberjane's Gotham Academy, but I feel like there's rights issues, and even in my own magical made-believe list, where I take the job of somebody that works at DC to map these books, I still have to abide by some weird rules, even though they're made-up rules to begin with. So yeah, maybe I should add it, I don't know. But anyway, this is the complete Gotham Academy Omnibus. Until the next one. Number 5. I'm going to find a way to get this 4-issue miniseries in somewhere. Azrael, Agent of the Bat Omnibus. Yes, Sword of Azrael. Anytime there is a collected edition of Batman Nightfall, whether it's the skinny trades or the big fat phone book trades or the box set or the Omnis, we never start with Sword of Azrael. And I feel like it's such a crucial point to the story to kick off the guy that's actually replacing Batman. Jean-Paul Valley, you don't get this introduction? He just shows up in Batman? Alright, but until we get Batman in chronological order, those Omnis released, then I could be happy with it here. And I think this would be enough for 2 Omnis, but I wanted to start with the first one. Plus, you got Dennis O'Neil, Barry Kitson that kicks off the series, some phenomenal artwork, and eventually the title did become Azrael, Agent of the Bat Omnibus. So, I'd be happy to change it to that. As an omnibus, yeah, absolutely. Like it's up to me. Number 4, Batgirl. My favorite Batgirl, Cassandra Cain Omnibus. I don't care if the DC Finest is right around the corner or sometime early next year. I know, I've heard, it's coming. I still want it in omnibus format. Because she deserves it. It is an absolute amazing story. Damian and Kelly, oh my gosh, they were just firing on all cylinders for those first 3 years. They were amazing. And the series did continue. I mean, it was still solid. And I know that she's getting her own series again, and that makes me really happy. But I live for this era of just coming back into comics and finding out there's a new Batgirl. Because there hadn't been a Batgirl. That's the thing. Like, we didn't have a Batgirl. We had Barbara Gordon becoming Oracle. And there was no replacement. There was no legacy character for her. And I love Oracle. That is one of my favorite characters. So when this Batgirl showed up in the events of No Man's Land, it's like, who is this girl? Like, how does she fit into all this? She's a new character. And then she became one of my all-time favorites. Oh, man. And I'm not alone. A lot of my viewers, a lot of you all love this character. Number 3. Manhunter, Kate Spencer. This one has been on the list before, but it doesn't matter. Like, it needs to be reminded, remind people that this is such a stellar series. I don't know if y'all have read Andraco's series or not, but it has got a beautiful mix of, like, superheroics and detective stuff, crime noir, which gets into some dark territory, too. Plus, we never got a fully collected ending. They canceled the final trade paperback, which would have collected the Streets of Gotham storyline in there, but I'd take an omnibus. I ain't mad. I would take an omnibus over that. Yes. Now, something you're not going to see on the list is Robin and Nightwing. Because I feel like those have been getting focused on in compendiums. So much so that Nightwing Compendium Volume 2 has been in the catalog. So maybe take a little bit of a break from talking about those. I will come back. I love Nightwing. It's my favorite run on Nightwing. And I love that Robin series. Tim Drake, come on. Let's all come back to it, I'm sure. They have been on this list before. Number 2, making its first time on the list, Batman Nightfall Aftermath. If we have a Road to Onslaught, an Onslaught Omnibus, and then an Onslaught Aftermath Omnibus, why can't we get a Batman Nightfall Aftermath Omnibus? Collecting the stories that lead directly into Contagion, the big crossover. And a lot of these stories, I put in here some issues that have never been collected before, including like the Zero issues, which I would love for them to focus on. And not just Batman, but also like Catwoman and Robin. Because I feel like some important things happen in there. Nightwing, Alfred's Return is another one. Just give me a big collection of this stuff. And for the first time, Vengeance of Bane Volume 2. Or Vengeance of Bane 2, which is the Redemption. It's the one-shot. And again, it's the same creative team that worked on the first one, coming back for that second one. And leading into the events of Contagion. And then that, of course, leads into Legacy, which then that leads into Road to No Man's Land. And then eventually No Man's Land. And man, can you imagine like that much Batman collected? Plus we're getting Fugitive and Murder. Or other way around. Murder, Fugitive, and then War Games or War Drums. Yeah. It's a good time to be in. This man's what I've said. You know, for the last few years, we're living in the golden age of collected editions. So, man, it's been awesome. Now, I said earlier, you know, well, I want Azrael because we haven't gotten Sword of Azrael until we get the chronological order of Batman in omnibus format. And that's what I want. How has this book not been made? This is the post-crisis Batman I'm talking about, of course. I'm calling it Batman Cape Crusader. Could have gone with the Dark Knight Detective. I love Cape Crusader. That's such a cool name. And yes, I don't care if DC's Finest is giving us a year 1 and 2. I mean, I do care. It's wonderful. I'll be doing an overview of it. But I'm so selfish. I want this era. How is this era not an omnibus format? Like, it would... They know it would sell. You all know it would sell. Like, even people that buy the DC's Finest are like, well, I need another format. I already got year 1 as an absolute edition. I've got the year 2 deluxe. You know you got deluxe of year 2. I know you do. I would still buy an omnibus. Absolutely. Double dipping. To hell with that. Give me the Batman. Post-crisis, baby. All the year 1, year 2. Give me those early years, man. Yeah. That would be stellar. Who knows? One day. I'm patient. Been patient for a long time. If and when these books ever do get made and you want to pre-order them, please check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was my top 10 most wanted Batman Omnis. In the comments down below, let me know what your top 5, top 10, top 3, top 1 is. What from this list you're like, never even thought about that. That's a good idea, Omar. Pat yourself on the back. Or what from this list is like, what is wrong with you, dude? Why would you even collect that? Nobody would buy that. You'd make DC go bankrupt. Regardless of your comments, leave them down below. Smash that like button on the way out. Check us out on Patreon and Spreadshop. Amazing ways to support the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been fun doing these lists. And I'm going to continue doing them. So come back next week for... What's next week? Spider-Man, I think, and then Superman. Yeah, it's been fun. So until the solicits come back and I get to make breaking news announcements with the suit, I'm just going to keep these going. It's been a lot of fun. Gallery editions, absolute editions, whatever you want to see. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.